I'm ready.
Coach, can you talk about your thoughts on the Celtics without Rondo? What you've seen these last 6 games?
Well, I think they're doing it by committee a little bit more. They're sharing the ball. Everybody's taking on a little more responsibility. I think their guards, I mean, they had like 4 what we call combo guards that can make good decisions and play somewhat points, some off. But the key to the team is Pierce. Pierce has been incredible. He's taken ball handling responsibility. He's become a good rebounder for him. He's playing with tremendous energy. I think he's averaging 18, 10, and 6 in that stretch of games. And then the kid off the bench is Green. Green's coming in and giving him an extra, whatever you want to call it. We call it a wild card that can have a game that's good enough to beat you.
So how's guarding them now different than it was prior to Rondo?
I think with Rondo on the court, you had more of a non-shooting team, and I think they have more of a shooting team on the court now. You know, and so they're pick and rolls, and their big guys make shots. I mean, they're unique. They're a jump shooting team, and they have a lot of guys who can make them. And we're going to have to make good pick and roll reads. We're going to have to get back on defense because their pace is a lot faster than it was with Rondo. And then I think at the end of the game, it's pretty simple. Garnett and Pierce are going to have a major influence on what happens.
Does that pace that's picked up by the Celtics play into what is one of your team's strengths?
Well, you know, I mean, we're not going to change our game. We like to play fast, and we trust our run rebound game as much as anything that we do. The faster we play, I think the more it plays to our personality. I don't think Boston's going to slow down, but I don't think they're going to necessarily speed the game up. I think they're just going to continue to do what they're doing, as we're going to continue to do what we're doing. We're both playing at a good level, and you know, for me, it's going to be how much energy we have going in. You know, playing back to back and getting in bed about 3 o'clock or 3:30 last night. So, you know, the depth of our team, I think bench versus bench is going to be interesting.
And when you talk about it being interesting, this will be the first back-to-back you guys have had in this successful stretch you've had. Just how do you approach back-to-backs? Because it's been a while since you've had one.
Well, I think we're leading the league in them, though. I don't know. I mean, we've had a lot of them. I don't know. I mean, I think back-to-backs are fun to coach as a coach. You know, you got to make more decisions quicker and earlier in the game. Trying to find the groove of your team is a little more difficult. But in the same sense, that's what we get paid to do. And I got a team that has 9 or 10 guys that are capable of winning a game for us.
Can you talk about Gallinari and his play recently?
He's been great. I mean, his consistency has gotten to be, you know, what I think, you know, that's why I think he's moving into more people are starting to talk about him. Gallo's always had the ability to have a big game and play. He usually plays very well in important games. But now I think he's been kind of a foundation, a rock, kind of a rock for our personality and our nature.
Do you think you should be the heavy favorite for Coach of the Year to win 15 out of 17 with no All-Stars?
I just want to get some votes. I don't want to win Coach of the Year. Coach of the Year usually gets fired.
But you know, how are you doing it though with no All-Stars? Or should you have All-Stars?
You know, I'll be honest with you. The way we played early in the season, I don't know if we stirred the pot enough to get enough votes. I mean, the guys that got voted on the All-Star team deserve to go. I mean, there were a couple guys that probably deserve to go other than our team. I've said for a long time that I think they should expand the roster to 15 guys. You know, and then I probably would be complaining. But with 12 guys, you know, really 7 guys get voted in, and that's a hard number for coaches to make. So I like you know, but our personality shouldn't be surprising. This is the way we did it last year, and this, you know, we do it by committee. We do it by a lot of young players trying to prove themselves as players in this league. And fortunately, right now, with the schedule turned our way, we're improving and we're playing with confidence.
So being under the radar the way you are, how do you see the big picture in terms of
winning the Western Conference? Wow, that's the first time I've heard that question this year. You know, I think, you know, I got to answer that boringly from the standpoint is, you know, we got a lot of work to do. I mean, we have room for improvement. We have room. Our defense is the area that we're focusing in on, and a lot of our success lately has been because of our defense, but it hasn't been over 48 minutes. It's usually a spurt. You know, we play 2 quarters where we do our jobs and then we kind of fall asleep and don't do our jobs. But I think our players know that our success is going to be based upon how much more we improve defensively.
How difficult is it to keep your team focused during the streak and keep them from getting fat heads and getting overconfident?
You know, I'm hoping that the Boston Garden will be a motivator. I mean, this is, other than probably the Spectrum and, I mean, I'm not the Spectrum, but the Staples Center. This is probably the most depressing place I've ever played, and I've had my ass kicked here more often than any other place in basketball. And so I hope they feel the motivation of I mean, I think we all love the Madison Square Garden, but the old Garden was probably more fun to play in than this one. But it's still a great honor to play a team that's won 16 or 17 championships. And it's been a guy that's, over my career, has made me miserable many nights.
You mentioned Pierce's numbers during the streak. He's averaging about 10 rebounds a game, obviously. How impressive is him to do that at this age in his career?
Well, I don't know how to say it. You know, rebounding is, you know, I coached Paul in 2002, and I thought he was a triple-double machine then. And I think he's one of these players in the league, when he puts his mind to something, he's capable of getting it done. And, you know, I don't know. I think he's taken the window of responsibility with Rondo out to take more leadership. I don't know. Doc has probably given him that leadership. But we had him for like 47 touches in his last 2 games on pick and rolls. So he's getting 1-3 pick and rolls. He's getting 3-5 pick and rolls. He's getting 3-4. You know, he's getting all types of pick and rolls. And he makes great decisions on them. And then he's always going to have his pin down game and his flare game that they find him. And, you know, Doc does a great job of being creative, especially at the end of games.